Hey buddy, how you doing? I hope that this time the birds and the traffic won't be as intense. You could really hear it pretty bad in the last video, but I didn't mention it just in case you might not notice. I noticed because I know exactly what it sounds like, but I was just I posted it in hopes you might not recognize the sounds. But anyway, the birds seem to be quiet for the moment, so let's get into talking about what this video is. What you're seeing on screen right now is oh, here come the birds. Well, anyway, what you're seeing on screen right now is animation of a video I've been doing for the past probably a week now. I came across it when I was just really bored looking for random videos. I think I was listening to anime song covers and I happened to be like, hey, this song's kinda good, let me see what anime it's from. And then I watched the ending that was the song was from. I watched the ending and I was so amazed by the animation, how fun it looked. I was like, okay, this looks so much fun, I have to do this, but at the same time I was like, I can't do this, it's too good. Like, my animation is not gonna be up to par on the movements. But so far, it's been so fun doing it. Like, I gave in and started animating because doing manga all the time, even though I like getting my story done, it's just not the same as animation. I feel so much more accomplished when I do animation, even though I get more story done when I'm doing manga. When I'm doing animation, it's like, I feel like something is actually alive, and I don't know, it's weird. I so prefer animation. I did not know how much I loved it until I had been working on manga for so long. But anyway, so I definitely started this video, and for a week now, when I was tired of working on manga, I would start working on the animation, and I've gotten pretty far. I've almost done all of the guidelines. Not the whole thing, not just yet, but I've got a good amount done. Props to you if you can recognize the animation here. In fact, please do say in the comments if you can recognize the movements. Not all the movements are the same, because it's a little hard to copy movements just from looking. Also, I like giving the dances for my characters just a little bit more of something else than the video, because I'm like, my characters personality-wise are a little different than the characters shown in that ending animation, and I'm like, well, this character would do this at this point, so I just change up the moves a bit on my own. And it's worked out pretty well so far. I really like doing it. But anyway, definitely mention in the comments if you know what this is from, because let me tell you, when I first came across the animation, besides just being so amazed, like, I wasn't even done watching the animation yet, and I was like going back to rewatch the movements. I was like, oh, it's so good, I love it! And I like binged watching the original and then a bunch of remakes that no doubt were made by Nico Nico Doga people. There was a really good Pokemon one, and there was also a great Naruto one. The Pokemon one, I feel, was like so much better. It was pretty spot on like everything. And there was actually one point in the video where it's like the Naruto one took a shortcut where it made a certain part where there was a lot of animation. It took it and made it into like photographs of different people doing the moves, and I was like, haha, they cheated. But then I got to doing animation, I was like, I should really do that, because it was like the same moves earlier in the video, because it's like, it's the same animation, but it's with more people, so it's the same dance moves, but more people are doing it later on. But earlier on, you know, there's less people. And I was doing it, and I was animating it, and I was like, whoa, now I know why they cheated and made it photographs. I'm gonna do that. So I definitely took inspiration from that in the video, and I'll probably link to it just, I don't know, for transparency's sake. Otherwise, I just really loved the video. I mean, you guys know that I love Naruto, so I was like watching it again and again because it was so good. Anyway, so enough about what I'm animating. It's already like halfway through the video, almost. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about today was a person called Eve commented on Draw and Talk 2, and they asked to hear the story of how I got into animation, what inspired me, was it hard, and how hard was it? Before I go to answer, I do have to say, I really like your videos, Eve. I noticed you did a speed paint for Aaron Bronstone / Luis A. Lopez, and I don't know, I think it's really nice. I like it, and you should definitely keep it up. Keep up the good work. I noticed you were very mature in the comments with criticism, and I just really respect that. So, yeah, I just wanted to say that. But anyway, about how I got into animation. I was around 11 or 12, and the reason I wanted to do animation was I was really into cartoons like Teen Titans. Well, that was really about it at the time. Even though my first ever bunch of characters, not including the Bunnyville story, if you watched my previous Draw and Talk videos, you know what I'm talking about there. But my first real story that I consider, like, I worked hard on was called The Go Girls. And those characters from The Go Girls, that's Jaden Unshaken now. So, definitely I've kept the characters and kept a lot of their traits and such for 10 years now. So, that's what I consider to be my first big serious project. But anyway, I was inspired by Naruto, Teen Titans, and the Powerpuff Girls, oddly enough. I never actually liked the Powerpuff Girls. I just liked the idea that they were, like, color-coded. That was, like, the only reason that, the Go Girls was inspired by the Powerpuff Girls. I guess the title, as well, was inspired. But anyway, my main inspiration was Teen Titans. And basically, the way I got into animation was I wanted to make fan art, but I wanted to make fan animations of the Teen Titans, and I did. In fact, one of my first bigger projects, animation-wise, was Raven and Starfire doing the Lucky Star opening dance. It was really, really bad, and I will never share it with anyone. It's so bad. But anyway, yeah, that was like one of my first bigger animation projects that I did. Definitely cartoons inspired me. And was it hard at first? I can't remember. I mean, I wasn't good at it, so I guess you could say it was difficult because I wasn't good at it, but it wasn't, like, hard to keep going because I finished it. I didn't finish it well. I took a lot of shortcuts. But I did do the whole song, the whole 1 minute 30. So it's not like I had trouble finishing it. And this was true later on as well, where, you know those Iosis? Well, I call it Iosis. It's like IOSYS with, you know those videos with, Marisa Stole the Precious thing? Touhou. The Touhou videos. Yeah, Iosis, Overdrive, and Marisa Stole the Precious thing. I did both of those videos, but I used the Go Girls as the characters in it. Like, I did a lot of videos like that where, just like this one, where I'm basically making a parody with my, the Go Girls characters, aka Jaden Unshaken characters. Like, I've been doing that basically my whole life, now that I think about it. But, yeah, I finished the Overdrive video, and I finished the Marisa Stole the Precious thing. I might link that in the description, because, I don't know, you might want to take a look. I mean, it's bad, but I did do it, and I look back proudly on the fact that I didn't trace it. Now what do I talk about? So I'll link that in the description so you guys can watch those if you would like to. It's the Go Girls, so it's Jaden Unshaken characters back in the day. If you watch those, then you'll end up recognizing the characters that I use in a lot of different videos where, it might be hard for you to recognize them. I recognize them because I've known them my whole life. Yeah, I can see how it wouldn't be very clear. I guess you can ask if you're particularly interested in a character at some timestamp place. You can ask me who that is in Jaden Unshaken, because I've kept all the characters. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I kept all the characters, except there are some characters in the Go Girls that they're in Blind Trust now, not Jaden Unshaken, though they're all technically in Jaden Unshaken, because Blind Trust is Jaden Unshaken. It's just a different place in the world that is the same world, if you understand what I'm saying, which you probably are not. I meant to talk about how, I don't know how you've been liking how long these videos are. Like, go ahead and tell me if you're willing to sit through 20-minute videos, because I can slow down my speed paints if you would like. I likely won't slow down the speed animations, because when you slow down the speed animations, it feels like no progress is being made. So if I do 20-minute videos with animation, I'll just do more animation for the video. But yeah, I'm coming to a close now, I guess. It feels like I just started. Yeah, go ahead and tell me how you feel about the lengths of these videos. Tell me if they're too long, tell me if they're too short. It'll really help me out. Also in the comments, go ahead and tell me about your first stories and how you got into what you like doing. Be it animation, drawing, writing, maybe even photography. Go ahead, tell me. I always love reading them. Like, oh my gosh, it surprised me and delighted me so much when in one of the past videos, when I asked you guys to tell me about your stories, that a good lot of you told me about them. And I was like, oh, I love it. I loved all of them. I read all of them, and they were all so interesting, and I encourage all of you to get working on it, because I want to see them in action. And if you do make an episode, or a comic strip, go ahead and tell me where I can find them, because I love stories. I hope you all are doing well, and I hope this coming week is going to be a great one. Got any plans? Tell me about them in the comments. Well, I had a great time animating for you today. Thanks for letting me talk at you. Bye-bye!